Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what today is?
Well, today is Saturday, which means that we're doing
Q&A Saturday.
And what are we Qing and Aing today?
We had a couple of questions, basically from Ezekiel chapters 11 and 12. We're covering chapters 11 through 15.
Okay.
But the specifically questions that we had came from those two chapters.
Okay. All right.
So that's what we'll be talking about today.
Awesome. I just wanted to touch base real quick here while we're on here in the intro and just say that I haven't announced everybody yet because we still have messages pending and different things like that. But we've had some multiple people jump onto our Patreon drive, and some of them are still in their free trial, and some of them I'm waiting on responses to what I had sent them. But thank you guys for responding to what we're trying to do here.
Yes, definitely.
I really, really appreciate you. And we will get those shout outs done. They are going to be usually during our normal run of the week. So they'll be coming up here in the next week or two. Mm-hmm. So just bear with us on that stuff. But just a short thank you. So thank you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you from the bottom of our cold little godless hearts. We are so grateful.
That being said, we still are quite a ways away from our goal. Mm-hmm. So if you do have the ability to give us $1 or $2 a month, definitely hop over to our website, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, and click on the link there where we're tracking the drive, and it'll take you right to our Patreon, and you can sign up right there and help us out.
Yep.
That being said, are you ready to get into this Q&A, wife?
I sure as fuck am.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, so we are here with our Q&A, going over chapters 11 through 15 of Ezekiel.
Yep.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
And I thought I would go over a real quick easy question and then the more confusing, longer answer question after that.
It's an easy question, but it's an easy Kyle question.
It is,
okay,
actually.
Right. Just checking.
In chapter 11, verse 3, it reads, "They say, haven't our houses been recently built? This city is a pot, and we are the meat in it."
Yeah.
And we had questions like, honestly, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, we didn't really get that whole analogy thing.
Right.
And it just didn't, we kind of just read over it. We were like, okay, whatever, God.
Yeah. Meat in a pot, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
we can imagine-ish, you know.
Sure. Well, with regard to the rebuilding of houses,
yeah,
that was a symbol that peace was happening.
Got it.
So
okay.
When they said, haven't our houses been recently rebuilt? They were like, what? It's, we're confident that all is well and it's peacetime and, we can go ahead and ignore all threats of any further Babylonian invasion.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's what that part referred to.
Okay.
As far as the pot, the city would be a shield around them as the cauldron is to seething flesh. Okay.
Okay.
So they were looking at themselves not in like a pot on the stove, but more as like a Tupperware dish.
Okay.
Okay. They were protected. And also that they are choice pieces of meat. They are the fancy ones.
Oh,
okay. In Jerusalem, that is.
Right.
Okay. They were the good folk left behind. Like they kind of looked down on the people who had already been exiled, kidnapped, picked up, and moved elsewhere.
Yeah.
So the people left behind felt like they were the good ends. They were the choice meat, and they were being stored safely within their little city.
Yeah.
Okay. And it made them feel good to think that.
Got it.
As for the meat, the metaphor seems to imply, like I said, that the people in Jerusalem were the choice cuts of meat, while the exiles in Babylon were just the scraps and rejected pieces. And we know from what we've read that it was exactly the opposite, that when Babylon and Assyria before them came into a city, they would kidnap the cream of the crop,
right,
and, slowly over and over again, so that all that was left was the dregs.
Sure.
So,
but I mean, if you are those people that are left, you are obviously going to view yourself in a better light.
Sure.
You're going to find any reason to think better of the situation.
I'm not trying to talk about how they felt.
Right.
I'm just saying it was a common war practice to take the cream of the crop people,
right,
the more talented, the more rich, the more skilled, because then it leaves the more less qualified.
Well, and also those are generally people that are leaders in the community, which cuts down on people fighting against the people trying to control you.
Exactly. Like, not only are the only people left unlikely to be able to fight, but they are also less likely to be able to lead.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I mean by dregs of society.
Got it.
They were just, there was no reason to kidnap them.
Sure.
So it's just ironic that they felt that they were, the choice meat and that they were safe in their little Tupperware dish.
Yeah.
So going on to verse 6, then it says, "You have killed many people in this city and filled its streets with the dead." And then verse 7 says, "Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. The bodies you have thrown there are the meat, and this city is the pot, but I will drive you out of it." And that means Jerusalem is no longer a crock in which the food is securely stored. Sorry.
Right, yeah.
That was my dyslexia acting up.
Yep.
Instead, she is now a pot over the fire in which the meat is being cooked.
Got it.
So now she's that pot. She's not the Tupperware dish anymore, unless you're talking about putting your Tupperware dish in the microwave.
Right.
Which, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
But regardless, Jerusalem is not going to be a protection for them anymore.
Got
and
it.
God is going to scatter the people.
Okay.
So we just had some kind of questions about that, and we're like a little...
Just clarifying, basically.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we were confused. It just seemed like an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
So that's what that meant.
Okay.
Okay, now moving on to chapter 12.
Yeah.
We had some confusion as to where Ezekiel was when he was doing his little pantomime shit where he was packing his bag and pretending to go into exile. We thought maybe that he was back in Jerusalem and this was taking place before anybody was exiled.
Well, and I know, just to interject here real quick, I know that you had said that I was confused too. So like you had said that he was part of the second exile, which confused me a little bit because I was thinking that the second exile was the one where basically Jerusalem was sacked. Right. Right. But it's not. There was essentially 3 exiles. There was one in 605, there was one in 597, and then one in like 586. Those were the 3 exiles.
And the last one was when Jerusalem fell.
Right.
But
when they refer to the second exile, they're referring to the 597 one, which is when
Ezekiel and his wife
went to Babylon, essentially. So,
and that's where he was when he was doing his little pantomime stuff.
Right.
And we were confused because we're like, they're already in exile, so why would he be talking about exile to the exile.
Right. Yeah,
you know?
that's just weird.
So in chapter 12, verse 3, it reads, "Therefore, son of man, pack your belongings for exile, and in the daytime as they watch, set out and go from where you are to another place." So it would have seemed like he was back in Vision Land, or else that this took place prior to him having left Jerusalem, that he was speaking to the people of Judah or Jerusalem.
Yeah.
But no, he was actually doing this show for the Babylonian exiles.
Okay.
And here's why. God commanded Ezekiel to act as if he were going into captivity or exile, even though he was already an exile in Babylon. God wanted him to act this out among the exiles to make a message from God clear that all those remaining in Judah would go into captivity. And it's important to keep in mind that there were many false prophets during this time in Judah, Jerusalem, and even among the exiles in Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
And the false prophets were promising that God would rescue his people from the Babylonians.
Got it.
So he was speaking to his brethren saying,
he's like, no, we ain't gonna get rescued.
Yeah, he's saying, that thing that we went through, this thing that I'm play acting, our folks back home are going to be doing this too in a minute.
Right.
So just, stop with your nonsense.
Right.
And rival prophets were foretelling a speedy return to a flourishing Jerusalem. And he was like shaking his head, nope, not going to happen.
Got it.
And it was likely hoped that this action would make the refugees realize that those left in Jerusalem would shortly be joining those who had already been deported to Babylon. So that makes a little bit more sense in regard to where he was and what he was doing.
Sure.
But it seems like really weird that he had to play act this and couldn't just be like, hey, those guys back home are going to have to pack their bags soon.
So says the Lord.
Right? Like, I don't know. The whole play acting thing just seems really just unnecessary and dramatic. And
yeah.
But I guess if he's doing this all day, he's probably gathering a crowd.
Right.
And then, when they're like, look at this freak, look what he's doing. Look, he's digging holes in walls and shit. Hey, watch this guy. And then as they gather, then he can stand up and be like, so this is what I was doing before a large crowd.
Well, and it seems like they are very big on demonstration. Like the Ezekiel in particular is really big on demonstrations, right?
Yes.
There was that whole hypothetical year and a half where Ezekiel was supposed to lie on the ground and shit on the floor and whatever the fuck he was doing.
A day for every year of sin or some shit.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, so that was supposed to be a performance in front of people. This is supposed to be a performance in front of people.
Right.
He had all the elders over at his house, and that's when he had one of his visions. So that was kind of a performance in front of people.
Sure.
There's just all this performative
performance art.
Yeah. So it's interesting. And also the stories in Ezekiel are very fantastical also.
Yes.
So it seems almost like it's almost try hard. It's really
everything's over the top.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It is a lot. Ezekiel is a lot. I will say that.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe it was more about shock and awe to really capture the imagination of the people that he was talking to than it is about the truth of what he hypothetically was hearing from God.
Right. I would expect this play acting show from earlier cultures who were still developing language.
Right.
But to find that these people are capable of using words, they're at the point where they're writing shit down, but still they're like, I'm going to pantomime eating instead of just saying the words, I'm hungry.
Right.
What? Just use your words, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Different cultures, different times. Obviously, I can't possibly put my head into that space, but...
Sure.
So that's what that was about.
Okay. Was that all the cues that were aimed today?
That I ate all the cues that we had.
You ate all the cues. Okay. Well, this was a short episode today.
It was.
All right. Well...
Hopefully I cleared up any confusion that we might have had.
I think that helped out a lot. I was confused, like I said, about the timeline. How many exiles there were.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was only really 2 that they were counting, and there are 3. So That was a bit confusing for me, and I think that's where I got hung up throughout the week. So, but yeah, that definitely clears up some stuff. And so that being said, we'll be back tomorrow with our
Patreon.
Right. And then I will get the weekly wrap up out. And then we'll be back on Monday with
Ezekiel chapter 16.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.